intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Check out Night Dreams' website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.
Hey, this is Gary from Night Dreams Talk Radio. I want to welcome a new sponsor to our show, PhoenixShaving.com. I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, another disposable razor company. Well, the fact is they're not. You remember the razors that your father and his father shaved with? Did you ever notice they didn't have, well, the embarrassing razor burn or ingrowing hairs or the razor bumps after they shaved? Did you notice they were also relaxed after they were done shaving? Well, the problem is these big corporations want to sell you razor after razor after razor. Think about how much money you spend a year on razors. Or do you use electric razor? Then you're going to find out what razor burn is. So you need to check out Phoenix Shaving Starter Kits. They come complete with the soap, the brush, and a 2.5-month supply of blades, and the most important part of it, a all-metal razor, built to last generations. So, hey, you can donate it to one of your sons when they turn 18. Check out PhoenixShaving.com and tell them that Gary from Night Dream said, hey, I want one. That's PhoenixShaving.com now. And you're listening to me, Gary, at Night Dreams Talk Radio. A little bit about what's going on with the show. Don't forget, starting June 4th, we're taking our hours from actually 8 to 10, from 8 to 11. We're gaining an extra hour of our show. And then on the weekends, we're going to have a Saturday, Sunday host, Kevin, and he will be on for a couple hours, 2-hour show, I believe, talking all paranormal. Tonight, we got a special guest on our show, Allan. So, I mean, if you decide to go this summer on a road trip or a vacation and you want to go find some old remains of old ghost towns, Allan is the person you want to talk to. Allan, are you there? Hopefully you're there, Allan. Okay, maybe we lost Allan. I know he was...
No, I'm here. Hello?
Okay, well, I didn't hear you. I mean, I was wondering what happened to you, Allan.
Okay.
But you're breaking up now, like you're all distorted or like your phone's breaking up or something.
How's this?
That is better.
Okay.
Well, Allan... Well, now you're breaking up again.
How are we doing right now?
Well, are you on a cell phone or a landline?
No, I'm on a landline here, Gary.
Okay. You know why? Our show is paranormal, and anything paranormal, strange things happen.
That's right. I've been on some shows where we've gotten knocked off the air. On one show, we even lost satellite lock, and that's impossible, but it happened.
Oh, it can. Yeah. And by the way, I noticed you were kind of confused about our show. I originally started out about 11 months ago. Art Bell was a very distant friend of mine, but he was a friend. And he knew, I was in broadcasting in the past and all that stuff. And he knew I rode a Harley and I was really into motorcycles big time. He said, hey, start a show doing about motorcycles. Well, I did that. But you know what? My heart wasn't in it. So we did like about 4 or 5 shows, basically talking about motorcycles and, what it's like to be a biker. And I just couldn't do it any longer. I mean, my whole life, I'm 66 years old, and my whole life has been involved in the paranormal. When I started out in radio, Allan, back in the mid-'70s, I did one of the first area talk shows in the paranormal, and that's where my heart's at. So that's what I'm doing now. So why don't you tell everybody out there what you do?
Well, I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I do private ghost tours and history tours. These are walking tours in Santa Fe, and I write books about the paranormal, conspiracy. I do investigations. I'm also a SAG-AFTRA actor, and I got some really strange ideas about the paranormal, and we may go into that concerning ghosts and about phenomena, but I'm one of those hands-on investigators, not one of those armchair type of experts. And of course, on my investigations, or on my tours, I should say, we go to some places where there has been activity. And on my website, it's filled with pictures through the decades of odd things that have been taken on my tours at haunted places and also on my investigations. And that website is SantaFeGhostAndHistoryTours.com, and that's loaded with all kinds of really odd things. Some people say, well, I don't know about that one, and other pictures will say, wow, you really got something there.
Well, I mean, what is the strangest thing? I mean, taking private tours to like ghost towns and things like that. I mean, have you ever had anything really eerie happen or scary or that you couldn't account for and had some of your people, guests on your tour kind of get scared or anything?
Oh, yes. On many different themes and places, odd things have happened. And, well, the most common things, but of course this gives a scare to the people on the tour, that we'll be in some areas and our equipment will just fail, be it the camera, be it the different type of ghostometer, and then when we leave the area, it comes back to life. Other times we've had equipment just completely fail on us. We've had people be brushed in one time, in this one area, I should say, numerous times in this one area in Santa Fe, and the Weirdbeards call it Spook Lane. Now it's called something like the Blair Witch Path. Back in Prohibition, it's called Smuggler's Lane. Well, this area is linked to all kinds of mayhem, be it during the massacre, Wild West days, etc. And I've had, like for example, one girl just got pushed right into me. This was at nighttime. We were getting some things on the ghostometer. Another time, there was this one, well, a couple of times, there was one guy from Texas. He was an ex-football player, built like a linebacker, did a couple of years of professional football. His face started turning red, and he was complaining that he was having a hard time breathing. We got on out of there. Other people have had the same experience of having a hard time swallowing and breathing in this one area. And again, these areas that we go to, they're linked to historical mayhem. So it's not, it's just not somebody's imagination of, oh, I think something's happening to me here. These areas are, their MO is chock full of mayhem and paranormal activity.
Oh, wow. So what got you into doing these tours and stuff like that? I mean, I noticed you were did acting and stuff like that. That's a big departure from acting to, doing ghost tours.
I guess so. You got to keep the people interested in the beginning on the overture, because what I like to do is I like to combine the history with the paranormal. So I don't want to make it sound like a sixth grade teacher who's just boring the class to death at the chalkboard. I want to tell them about, this is what happened here. This is the story of the brujas, the curanderas. This is the story of mayhem. So you can make it interesting, just like acting. As far as how I got into this, well, ever since I was a kid, I've been around strange things. I have no control over it, and when I'm on, I'm spot on, and when I'm off, nothing's going to happen. But for example, even before first grade, let's just say, everybody's looking at a intersection, and I get a feeling, and I'll turn my head to the left, and then that's where the car accident is. 30 yards down from the intersection, and the cars go off into the sidewalk. That kind of awareness I had even as a kid. And, of course, with my elders, they would always say, either in English or in Spanish, no se hagas así, don't be doing this, it's your imagination. And I kind of hid that, and eventually, as I became a man, I said, there's something to this. I might as well investigate it even further, because too many things have been going on in my life. with this awareness. And there was a market for paranormal tours here in Santa Fe, and I was doing history tours. So with some prodding from some friends and a couple of family members, I got into the paranormal business, and I was doing more and more investigations. And one of the things, even as a, elementary school teenager, I was always interviewing old-timers who and I was getting information about these spots, about these stories, be it historical, paranormal. I didn't know it was going to pay dividends decades down the road, but that's what I was doing, and it all kind of somehow, some way, it came together, and that's how I got to be this person in Santa Fe.
Wow. I mean, is there much, when I went out, my last road trip, to go out and take pictures of ghost towns was around 2005. There just wasn't a lot of ghost town parts, or even any, you sit there, on Facebook or on the internet would tell you, hey, you can go to this location, go to this location. You go there, and it was not much of anything there, and it was really kind of disappointing. I mean, do you take people to places that still are, kind of exciting?
Oh, yeah, I take people to places that are exciting. Santa Fe is, and I'll get into the ghost town aspect. As far as ghost towns or me going to these certain areas, I now just do private investigations. I've learned my lesson about taking people out onto areas outside of town. It really, a lot of times it doesn't work because, A, you're going on out to these areas, and there's these elements on out there, and some of them can be very, very negative. And you try to screen the people, and you say, okay, all right, there's going to be negative energies on out there at X spot. You're going to be okay, and I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not doing cocaine, I'm not doing this or not doing that. And, of course, they'll pay you a king's ransom, but you get on out there, and these negative energies are going to go after these people who have not told you the truth. And sometimes you've had some bad incidents, and some people have freaked on out, and it's not good. So I just do my investigations with some people that I can trust out in these ghost towns, out in these isolated graveyards, or on the old Santa Fe Trail. And that's what I do as far as going out to these places now. Now, as far as Santa Fe itself, Santa Fe is the oldest European capital in the USA. And there's buildings that are going back to before the days of Plymouth Rock. So with that, we go into the old sections of town, and with that, that's it, like its own ghost town. But it's not going to be like Dodge City or parts of Madrid, New Mexico, or Hagen, New Mexico, these ghost towns out in the middle of nowhere.